Today is Valentine's Day.
Oh, love.
Oh, I hear sarcasm from Miss Hillary. Not sure that everyone's a fan of Valentine's Day. You'll hear the skeptics say, oh my God, it's commercialized. It's this, it's that. You know, I'm a firm believer in
You should tell me you love me every day.
Oh, please. We're all busy. We're too busy. Do you do that?
Yes.
You tell Todd you love him every day?
I do.
I could do to Matt too.
Yeah.
Like probably 3 or 4 times a day because every time I hang up the phone.
Right.
Yeah, no, I do too. But sometimes it becomes where it's habit. And there is not a bad thing to have a friendly reminder every now and again to make them feel appreciative. Because I imagine you're as strong as I am. And I think when it comes to our spouses, they probably don't get you're amazing
Right.
often enough from the two of us. So anyone who knows them knows that they're pretty amazing. We don't want them watching this and their head swell because they have a tendency to do that too many times. But I do think Valentine's Day helps you say, I love you. Just a little bit, maybe more importantly than
extra appreciation.
Right, more importantly than the roses and the cards. But I mean, who doesn't want to get these?
Right.
They're gorgeous, which you can get right here at Kingdom Floral Design. Hillary made this one for us this morning.
Good.
It's beautiful. I'm super romantic. I love Hallmark. I love any movie that ends with someone falling in love. Matt tends to watch them with me only because I think he feels obligated to. And at the end, he always goes, oh my God, I never saw that coming. And it's like, ha ha ha.
You're like, how did you not?
Right, exactly. And so I thought, Hillary and I were talking about, who do we get on for a guest at Valentine's Day? And so we decided, what's the cutest couple we know? And they just recently got engaged, so we called up what we call the better half of that couple and invited her with us today. She is a pediatric nurse, first and foremost. She's amazing. She's also a virtual health and wellness coach. So we'd like you to welcome Tiffany Moore into our show this morning. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Congratulations on your engagement.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Are you a super romantic, or could you?
I would say I'm a super romantic.
And is Tyler?
No, not
No?
so much. Typical. Yeah.
Kinda.
He's good though.
Yeah. So you've got a wedding you're planning for this fall.
Yes, we are getting married in September of this
Awesome.
year.
And you're super excited.
So excited. It's getting crazy now. I'm like, it's halfway through January. It's going to be here before we know it.
And where are you getting married?
We're getting married at the barn at the top of the world.
That wasn't subtle.
We're so excited.
I'd ask her who's cooking her food, but I know and it's not me. And it's because we like to party at
Yes.
the people we love's wedding, so we tend not to go behind the scenes and work. So, but that was a good one, Hillary. I like that. That was cute. So I think that in order for me to show, I show my love by food. I show it every which way. I whoever you are in my life, I show it by food. I'll cook for you. I cooked Hillary a pie at Christmas. It wasn't that good, I have to admit. I'm going to redo it.
Oh, it was delicious.
It
Sure
was a little awkward, but in the cheese category, I wasn't fond of it.
Tomato
But,
pie. It's my favorite. I beg Cassie all year long for one.
and it takes her all year to get one.
Yes.
So anyways, I think that, I love Valentine's Day in cooking. I like going out too, but I also enjoy cooking a really romantic dinner. And I thought, you kind of get to keep it, in my house, less, not a lot of flair, but you always want to hint a little flair in it because it makes it fun for me to cook. So I thought today we'd do a steak au poivre.
Yum.
And we're going to catch some stuff on fire, which I love to do. So what we'll do is we'll kind of get started on the first steps of the steak au poivre, and then we'll kind of talk about, like, did you find your dress? Yeah? Where'd you find your dress?
We went to Fiore Bridal in
Love that place. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I tried on so many dresses, and I'm very indecisive, but I knew, like, it was the
You knew-
weirdest
is it
feeling.
you
I
know once you
cried, and
have
my
it on?
mom cried. I knew, yep. It was the last dress I tried on. They kept calling it the booty dress, and they're like, the lady was like, there's one more dress I want you to try on. It was like the 10th dress, and I tried it on, and I'm like, this is it.
And it's the booty dress?
Oh, it's the booty dress.
Oh, I can't wait.
Nothing wrong in
So
highlighting
yes.
Highlighting those the booty.
Yeah.
I think it's
That's what they
great.
called it.
Show
So
off your assets.
with the steak au poivre sauce, we're gonna do roasted red peppers to start, and so you can get red, whatever you want. I wouldn't do green because it's a little bit less sweet, I would say. So I'm not sure if you want to get actively involved in the cooking. I always ask my guests, or you just want to kind of
Whatever you want me to do.
All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut down so you get like just kind of like a paneling of red pepper, and we're gonna get that. Why don't you finish all sides? You can go around the seeds, so you don't have to worry about that. So we'll get those going, and then we're gonna broil those.
Oh, I don't know if I did that one too small.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah, never. I'm notorious. Everyone knows messy in the kitchen, so you have to be too dainty. It'll be good. So what we'll do is, while Tiffany's got that going, we're gonna brown the steaks, so we're gonna get this started. But first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take peppercorns. And so, medley of peppercorns, mine are mixed with coriander seed. So we're gonna put those in the mortar, and we're going to kind of smash them up. And I know everyone's at home's like, I don't have that. What do? I don't have that. Just grab a plastic baggie. The other night I left this at the restaurant because I always test our recipes first to make sure I know what I'm doing. Right. And I don't catch the building on fire. I'm super scared of that. So I used a plastic bag and Matt's hammer in the garage. I went and got it. So smash up those peppercorns.
Wow, you really have to get into it.
You really do. Just like pound them. So we're going to take the roasted red pepper, or the peppers to make them roasted. We're going to stick them in the broiler setting. You want them probably about 6 inches from the heat, and I would say on high because you want a nice caramelization over the top of them. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to really get this, guys.
Yeah, see, I do this. Like, oh, Matt, I can't believe you didn't do that. And then I get right into it. All right, so that's good there. All right, so then we'll take, and magically, our peppers are done. And so this is what you want them to look like. So see how they're nice and charred on there. So I peel them off, so they're going to look like this. And I love to find, like, this is a tri-colored red pepper. I love to find them. The more colorful the food is, the more fun I think it is to cook. So what we're going to do, and I see your beautiful ring on your finger, Tiffany, so I'll peel this nasty skin off there for you so you don't get it all in your... No,
I had it a month before. I had to send it back because I had cracked the band.
Oh, no.
Seriously?
Yes. It was so bad.
And that's the worst. You never want to part with your brand new ring.
I know. It was the worst. I cried for so long.
I don't think I could. I think I'd have to wear it around my neck.
I
think I would end up losing it.
It took me a while to be able to put it back on my finger.
All right, so Tiffany, what you're going to do is you're going to chop these just like in, I like mine kind of like just a little dice.
Okay.
So you're going to do that, okay? So you're not new to the kitchen. Your dad's like one of the greatest, I think, cooks I've ever met in my life.
Oh, yes. He loves to cook.
Yeah, he's amazing at it, too. All right. So while Tiffany's getting our red peppers prepared.
I'm not as graceful as you, Cassie.
Okay. I'm sure if somebody was having a baby, I wouldn't be as graceful as you.
Right.
I have, though, watched deliveries, 3 of them.
It's not for me.
If you count my twin nieces, I've actually watched 3 deliveries.
Oh, you've watched twins?
4 deliveries, rather. Yeah, it was amazing. And
That's awesome.
we thought she'd have to have, like, support or whatever. She delivered those babies natural.
Good for her.
No medicine, no nothing.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think she wanted it like that, but it happened so fast,
So fast. Didn't have
that
time
they
to
had
think.
no time. So we are going to use, Hillary, whose steaks are we using?
Those are from Bro's Meat Market out in Troy.
Awesome. So these are their T-bone steaks. You can do, traditionally a steak au poivre is done with a filet, if you choose. Some people like a more kind of fattier steak, gives it a little bit more flavor. I mean, obviously I wouldn't use cube steak, but I think you could if you wanted to. No faults there. But we'll use T-bone steaks, and you can also get that here at the Garden Shop. They've got also bacon, which is from Top of the World, and they've got ribeye steaks. They're delicious. There's nothing better than fresh, kind of steaks. So
Yes.
local grown fresh steaks. So, all right, so we're gonna get this going here while Tiffany does that. And you can put a little bit of oil in your pan to get that heated, because you always want to heat your pan, which is what I was doing, and then add your oil. And I'm a butter girl, so we're gonna add also some butter. So we're gonna let that melt up. And in that process, what we're gonna do is we're going to take, Tiffany, because you're gonna make this for Tyler, right?
Yeah. He's going to love it.
So, we also are going to do this month, we're going to actually put together a Valentine's Day menu for you, so you have an appetizer if you want, side dishes and everything. That's going to be found when you can find that on my website or our Facebook page and the Garden Shop's Facebook page. So put the peppercorns in a nice shallow dish, because you're going to coat your steak with them. But, I mean, I'm going to acknowledge this. I'm not a huge pepper lover.
Oh, I love it.
And so when I made them, Matt loves pepper, kind of like what Hillary just said. She loves it too. I'm not a huge pepper lover, and so for me, I struggled a little bit with this. So if you're not someone who really enjoys that spice, I'm going to encourage you to maybe not, like, move your peppercorns a little bit away, so you only have a little bit on your steak. And if your spouse or whatever, or you love it, then by all means dredge away. But I was like, whoo, that's hot.
Or you could use like salt too to get that nice crust on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing with the peppercorns is it's going to complement your sauce. So we're going to get those right in there. And since Hillary loves it, we're going to dredge hers more than mine. Or more than Tiffany's, rather. I don't know. Do you like pepper, Tiffany?
Yeah, I'm not fussy. Whatever. I love food.
All right. So we're going to let that cook right up nice. We want them to kind of caramelize on the outside. So don't get nervous. Like, oh my God, they're burning. They're not burning. They're caramelizing. You want a nice caramelized flavor to them.
Locks in the juices.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it gives it a nice crusty, like, kind of like, I like texture when I'm eating food. So I like crunch in my food.
Yeah.
I don't like not to have like kind of a mix, because I think it helps make the things like your mouth kind of enjoy. Yes, right there. Sorry, I should have said that for you. And then here you go, Tiffany. There you go. All right, so we got our red peppers ready, so we're going to add that to the sauce. And so the side dishes that you can do, I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? So there's tons of different side dishes that you can do. I'm a fan of rice with my steak. I feel like it doesn't overpower the steak. If you have a sauce with it, it's a nice complement to it. Matt prefers potato, shocking, like meat potatoes. But we eat a lot of rice with our steak.
Yeah.
What would Tyler want with his, Tiffany?
He's a pasta fan.
With his steak?
He could live on pasta.
I want asparagus.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be my vegetable. But I'm like a...
I don't really need a starch. I just
Really?
want asparagus and
All right, so see?
Ooh.
Look at that.
that's nice.
And I know the pan's sizzling, but sometimes that's going to happen, obviously, with the oils in there. So that's beautiful. All right, so we're going to let that cook on this side. So you're going to brown it really good on both sides, and then you're going to kind of let it cook for, I'm a medium rare steak, so medium rare. So
Yes.
probably like around, I would say 3 to 4 minutes on each side to like a temp of 130. But I'm a huge fan of jasmine rice or basmati rice, and I just season it with a little cardamom and star anise, salt and pepper, cook it, and then it's got this nice fragrant taste to it that doesn't kind of overpower what you're eating. And then I'm a huge fan of grilled asparagus or roasted asparagus. So I would say simple, easy meal. That's what I would do. All right, so once the steak, what we're going to do is what you're doing is you're also kind of caramelizing inside your pan. We're already starting to see some flames. You're caramelizing so that your steaks are, but your pan has also got some flavor in there. So let's let those cook a little bit longer. And just in case, I did purchase this. I know. It's a kitchen stop fire fast spray. Don't confuse it for spray butter or your
When
oil.
you first showed me, I was like, oh, good, you got a spray that works.
I know.
Like, no, it's for fire.
I did get a new spray. For those of you who have seen our show in the past, I've had some technical difficulties with our tools, and my cooking spray didn't work both times. I did buy a new one, but this is actually a spray which I think you can get right at Pick and Shovel. You can, it's just super quick. If this was to take off and start burning Hillary's garden shop down, that'd be bad. We're gonna spray it. So I'm keeping it readily available. All right, so we're smoking here a little bit. That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna take these out, which again, great caramelization. We'll pull this off the heat for a minute. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm gonna melt my cutting board here. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do the fun part. So before you do any lighting of any type, when you're cooking or with alcohol and you're gonna light it to kind of burn off the alcohol, you always wanna make sure it's either off the burner or your burner is shut off. Because the last thing you wanna do,
Let's have a big old
or heat it up,
fire.
the last thing you wanna do is start a fire. So we're going to just get those peppers. This oven is great. It's a great oven, but it doesn't cook as well as obviously your home oven. So, Tiffany,
Yeah.
you want to do the honors?
Yeah. I'm gonna light stuff on fire.
So this is our brandy sauce. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little, not a lot, because those are flavors. I'm going to take some of the oil out of there.
Okay.
Okay, and then, okay. So you're going to light it, but you always turn away from it. Okay.
Okay.
So there you go.
Got it.
There
you go.
So I cut this recipe in half because, there we go.
Ooh.
When I was cooking it at home, it made such a flame that I was giggling and Matt was like getting ready to grab whatever he could to put the fire out that I just paused. But it was super fun. And so I made half the recipe. So you're gonna just let that burn off. It doesn't take long to burn the alcohol off. And once it starts, then you're just gonna ignite your pan again to let that kind of finish cooking out of there. And once it kind of cooks out the alcohol, which it just did, and it didn't take long, the one I did took like a minute, we're gonna add, so that was a 1/4 cup of brandy, which I didn't realize, but after researching Vermont products, you can get Boyden Valley has one, and Shelburne,
Yep.
I think, and then Distillery and Mad River has like an apple brandy, which would be kind of fun to do. And then chicken broth, which, again, Vermont's amazing. The simmering bone out of, I think it's out of Montpelier. So we're gonna add some chicken broth, and we're gonna let that kind of cook till, I would say it evaporates at least by half a little bit. And so we'll get that going. And don't fret if you've got some grease splatter. It's gonna happen when you're cooking steak. If it doesn't, then I would say
You're not cooking it hot enough.
kinda, yeah. It's if you don't have splatter, you're not cooking it hot enough, and what you're gonna end up doing is cooking the inside of your steak before the outside is like charred. So what we're gonna do is, because the sauce won't take long, we're gonna cover those. And this is actually really good for anyone being like, oh, your steak's gonna get cold. If you bring it up to temp, if you're eating it medium rare to rare, it's not going to be hot in the center anyways, because that's not what that temp is meant to be. But what this will do is it'll allow the steak to rest and the juices to stay in the steak, so it'll make it really juicy. So we're going to set those out back. We got our peppers ready, and as you can see, in this oven it doesn't heat as much, so you can see the peppers are starting to char. At home, they took about 10 minutes, no oil, no nothing on the peppers, skin side out. Again, people are nervous about browning and burning stuff. You're fire roasting the peppers, so you want them to char on the top layer of the skin. It really is going to add the flavor to the peppers. So don't be scared of doing that either. All right, so we're getting that down. So we're going to turn that down just a little bit. And it was such a simple dish. And when I was cooking it, Matt was kind of sitting there, we were chit-chatting while you're doing it, and I think that's fun that we do at dinner time. Is I do a lot of the cooking because I like to test recipes, but sometimes I make him leave because I want to concentrate. Other times he just sits there and we chit-chat about like how our day went, what was going on, and I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Do you and Tyler, do you find your schedules are similar?
Our schedules are very similar. He's home. I do most of the cooking now. He's not a big cook.
No.
Yeah.
What is something that you guys make a lot of? That would be kind of your go-to.
We do a lot of chicken, I would say.
Yeah.
We do steak on occasion, probably steak once a week. He raised a beef, so we have a raised beef that we use. And it's
beef,
delicious, yeah.
So you're gonna add 1/2 cup of cream to your brandy that's burnt out at 1/4 cup, your 1/2 cup of chicken broth, and you're going to just let that kind of simmer so it's gonna thicken. we've got our peppers ready. So if you're doing this at home, you can do as the sauce is simmering, you can do your peppers so that you're not feeling frantic. And I would encourage you, when you're doing any type of recipe testing or if you're trying something new, get your stuff all prepped first, so then you're just grabbing each ingredient.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it can get away from you and stuff goes quick, and then you're like, oh, I didn't grab the cream, and next thing you know, your pan's scorching, you know, it's not really working for you, and you get, you know, kind of frustrated. Cooking should be super fun, and if you're like me, therapeutic, so it's relaxing. You like to
I
cook
love to
too.
cook.
Yeah. Hillary makes Thanksgiving dinner for us. She didn't this year.
No.
Which
There's
kind of
usually
a-
like 20-something of us, and
Yeah, and it's so fun. And there's nothing better than homemade food,
yeah.
right?
And I do everything,
Pizza.
like, it's all prepped up, so that day it's just relaxing, you know?
Right. Because the worst thing you want to do, right, is cook while everyone's there.
Yeah,
You're
trying to
frazzled,
clean.
you can't enjoy yourself,
Yeah.
and then you become more frustrated than enjoyed, right? Yeah, I'm a firm believer in doing things up ahead too. All right, so then we're going to take 4 teaspoons of Dijon. I would encourage you to get a good Dijon. It's just it's smoother, I feel, and it's got a nice smooth mustard flavor opposed to more sharp. So you're gonna put that in there. Tiffany, you want to go ahead and stir that mustard right into the sauce?
Yeah, with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, Matt and I were getting so bad with red meat because we love
Me too.
red meat, and so I've now put us on to 1 day a week. So if we have a burger, we can't have a steak. And we were like, oh, we'll have 1 day of burgers and 1 day of steak. And now Matt's like, so are we having steak this week? And I'm like, soon. All right, that looks beautiful. So we're gonna turn that down just a little bit. So then you take your peppers.
Okay.
And again, if you don't like red pepper, don't put red pepper. It's that simple. Like, just because a recipe calls for something doesn't mean you have to use it. I think it adds like a nice flavor to the sauce. So
Another little texture.
yeah, I think so. I think it adds a nice texture and a nice little sweetness to it. So kind of like the sharpness of the mustard and the sweetness of the peppers.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. All right, Tiff, so go ahead and stir that up.
Yum.
I always love a nice sauce with my steak.
Steak, yeah.
Oh, me too.
So good.
One of Hillary and I's favorites is what we use every
Oh,
Christmas.
Mushroom sauce.
And that was at Johnny Carter's, right? Sauce. I don't remember who started. I don't think he invented it. Neither did I invent steak au poivre, right? But it's a Korean. You kind of do the same thing, but you do mushroom with heavy cream and a little beef base.
Ooh.
Oh, it's
it's
amazing.
magical on a fillet. It's magical on anything, but I personally think because it's such a rich sauce that it's mushroom have a meaty flavor that it's really
Yeah.
good. You can shut that off, Tiffany. It's really good on like a fillet because it just kind of adds that wow factor. All right, so now what we do is we take our steaks. I did decide though while doing this dish, if anyone has not figured it out, red is my favorite color and has been forever. And so my dishes are red. And I find now that when I'm recipe testing, my food doesn't have a pizzazz to it because it's like on a red dish.
Yeah, you need
So
like that white plate.
it
like,
loses
hot.
it. And I said, Matt, I hate to say it because anyone who knows my wardrobe, I mismatch. I love colors. I said, Matt, I need some white plates. He goes, what? I'm like, otherwise, I said, I try to take pictures of it and it loses it in my red because this is
Yeah.
a beautiful dish. So again, that just looks magical. If you don't like beef, today's show is not for you. So then you're going to put the steaks out on each individual plate. And, you know, if we had your rice, I would kind of put the rice maybe a little bit under, half sticking out, because then you're going to get your sauce on all of it.
Yum.
And yeah, it is truly is delicious. And so, see, there's your sauce. Again, don't get nervous of those little particles in there because A, it's flavor, and B, those are really peppercorns, not a bunch of... People get weird and they're like, oh, it's burr. No, it's not. Unless something catches completely on fire and it's, again, if you're smoking meats, you're going to take the char off anyways.
Yeah.
But just cut around it. It's really not that big of a deal. And so you take your sauce and you put it right over your steak. Just like that. How beautiful is that dish? And it was the simplest.
So easy.
It is. It's so, you could even like wow your in-laws. Invite them over for dinner, act like it was like, oh, I'm done.
All
And you can
right.
put it on the, put it on
And it
the.
has a fancy name.
Right.
Yeah. Tiffany, what'd you make? Steak au poivre. How awesome would that be?
I love it.
I know. All right, who's going to be our taste tester today? Everybody, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
All right. If I can get my... see, I'm going to add steak knives to my list. I sometimes have a tendency to forget. All right, Tiffany, if you don't like it, you can say it. We don't mind.
All right, let's see.
Give that a try. Here you go, Miss Hillary. I'm always the one eating stuff, so...
You can cut that in half for me.
It's
Big bite.
delicious. So good.
Did anyone remember the show right? Half the bagel in one bite? Is it yummy? Yeah?
So good.
So I can get it to work, Hill.
I'm like, Cassie, I'm dying here.
I know. I'm like, my God. I struggle every show with something.
So good.
Isn't it so good? It's
Delicious.
my new favorite sauce for sure. So there you have it. It's that simple. You will be able to find our recipe on the Facebook page as well as on the website. Print it out, get your stuff ready, do it with the show. It's super fun. And there you have it. The most easy, simple, gourmet, delicious,
Yummy, yeah.
romantic Valentine's Day dinner ever.
So good.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a good day.